everyone, and welcome to a new video. Today, we're going to look at someone on YouTube called Don Ra, who thinks that Quantum TV, during the tickling, was innocent of all the accusations that were levied against him. Spoiler warning, he isn't and he wasn't. Quantum TV is guilty of the crimes he committed during the tickling. Remember, he told people who liked Elden Ring to go end game themselves. He called up the Actman's mother to threaten her into basically trying to get the Actman to remain silent and to leave Quantum TV alone. He threatened Mischief, who was only 16 or 17 years old at the time, making Mischief a minor, which is against YouTube's community guidelines and TOS, as that is threatening a minor. Quantum TV abused the copyright system for things that fall blatantly within the realm of fair use, which also goes against YouTube TOS and community guidelines, but that also goes against the law as it is perjury. Oh, and fast forward about a year after the tickling, it turns out that Quantum TV is a wife beater and an abuser. A guy I know dug up a ton of stuff on Quantum TV, and it ain't pretty. And it wasn't just Quantum TV's ex-wife that he abused, both physically and mentally. He also abused even his own followers, according to his ex-wife. But now I'm ranting and raving, and we really need to get into this video. But the longer it is, maybe that means there's less of a chance of me getting hit with a copyright strike. Let's dig in, shall we?
Actman versus Quantum TV. You had some thoughts, I had some thoughts.
Yeah, I just think some things need to be addressed, and people are getting away with stupidity, and that just needs to not be a thing.
I do hope you're referring to Quantum TV. He's the only one brandishing stupidity around here, mate. The Actman was well within his rights to demand Quantum TV be booted off of YouTube for the reasons I just stated in the last clip. Dude, answer me honestly. If I were to call up your mother and tell her that you were causing trouble for me on YouTube, how would you respond to that? Something tells me that you would respond in the exact same way the Actman did, with concern. Oh, and by the way, the Actman said he was going to let it go and leave Quantum TV alone, and even told his followers not to harass Quantum TV because of it, saying that it wasn't worth it to tango with Quantum TV anymore. But then, the very next day, Quantum TV goes and uploads a video about it where he pretty much brags about calling up the Actman's mother. That was when the Actman decided to do a 180 and come back to the drama. It was because he was looking out for his own family, and your dumbass would have done the exact same thing if you were in the Actman situation, so don't you pretend otherwise.
There's just too many people on Actman's side for the wrong motives, and it's very contradictory.
I'm sure there's gonna be people in the comments like bringing up all the things that they don't like about Quantum. That's not what this is about. This is about bullying, plain and simple. Everyone's trying to make this about copyright abuse and all this bullshit. I mean, there's just...
Oh, it's about bullying, is it? Quantum TV was the one who started the bullying, and when he got called out for it, can you guess what he did? Just like a coward, he goes and hides evidence to make it look like he's the good guy when he is anything but. For example, his Elden Ring review. When people reacted to that and made reaction videos explaining why he was wrong, he goes and hides the video and then proceeds to abuse the copyright system, which is a real pussy move, by the way. Abusing copyright for any reason, but especially so when it falls under fair use, is against the law, and it can land you in some pretty serious hot water. If it was anybody else, I promise you, well, apart from maybe DSP, if anyone else were to try the bullcrap Quantum has, they would be off this platform faster than you could say anything about it. Basically, the long and short of it is, don't go around bullying on YouTube, and you won't get bullied. Plain and simple.
What the fuck was Actman's thing? What was the stick up his ass in the beginning anyway? It was that Quantum was just gonna fucking take down everyone's video by like putting out copyright
claim. It's a
claim on our channel, and it's like,
no, it was not a copyright claim that Quantum put on the Actman and Mischief's YouTube channels, you morons. he put copyright strikes on their channels, which, as I said before, is a real coward move, man. Just the lowest of the lowest things you can do on YouTube. It's what someone does when they just can't handle criticism, and it screws with a YouTube's channel in a number of ways. This is the bit about Quantum TV that just outright pisses me off the most. When I was trying to help Quantum get his life back on track to focus on his music, I told him I would be interested in talking with him about it. I was praising him. The only damning thing in my video that I said was that doesn't erase Quantum's crimes. But guess what Quantum does? Instead of doing the proper mature adult thing, he goes and hits me with a copyright strike. When I try to help you, you better not ever attack me, because guess what? I will take that as a personal insult, and I will put you through a living hell if I absolutely can. There is no logical rhyme or reason to attack someone, especially so when copyright is involved, when they're trying to help you, that is. And I intend to see Quantum suffer because of that copyright strike he hit me with.
And just like in the same token, it's like Ackman on the other side with all his buddies, they're all like coming out and saying, we want you off YouTube. You are going to get banned from YouTube. They're doing the same thing on the opposite side, but arguably like not going through YouTube. They're just straight up, trying to tell YouTube to take them off. I just thought that was just the most disgusting fucking thing. Like, Quantum can't fucking... They were acting like Quantum was wielding all this fucking power, and then they were trying to leverage all their fucking subscribers and all their fucking power on the other side of the coin to fucking take him off.
If you still haven't figured out why so many people want him off the platform, you brain-dead twat, then rewind my video back to the beginning and watch it from start to finish until you have finally learned why we want Quantum TV off the platform. Oh, but one reason that we want him off that I haven't talked about yet is that Quantum TV is also homophobic, and YouTube was doing Pride Month whilst coming down in Quantum TV's favor when he made it perfectly clear that he is a massive homophobe, going as far to ask someone on a YouTube video or Twitter or wherever it was at this point, and I quote, "Why weren't you a Pulse victim?" in reference to the Pulse nightclub shooting, which, as of this video's making and this script's writing, is the second deadliest shooting in US history. I've also done a video on Quantum TV's fans defending him in the comments section of my videos and my community posts, even on videos that came out long before the tickling ever happened, even calling me a ban evader, even though I have never done any such thing. If you would like to watch that video, by the way, its title is YouTube, Please Fix Your Platform. Anyways, Quantum TV was banned once before, and while he did eventually get his channel back, we actually have proof that we need to get him banned, but for my ban, there was no such evidence, and so I had to point it out to YouTube that I am innocent now, and I was innocent then. Anyways, what other inane drivel you got?
Like, what the fuck is that? Like, Quantum wasn't going to be able to take down anybody's fucking video. It was so hypocritical. It was disgusting. I was like, and everyone's like siding with Acme and all these things. Like, why are you siding with them? Ask yourself. Is it because they're really popular? Is it because they have a lot of subscribers? Do you think they're right just because they have a following? Is that how your brain works? Do you have a sense of real right and wrong?
We do, actually, and it's certainly better than your sense of right and wrong, as the like to dislike ratio on your video very clearly proves.
And the thing is, we are like Ackman fans to some degree. I mean, a fan of his content.
I'm still subscribed to him. I mean, maybe I shouldn't be, but I was subscribed. I've been subscribed for a while. I really like his takes for the most part, and this is just something him and his buddies just really got wrong.
So I'm guessing that it's wrong to stand up to bullies like Quantum TV then. Oh, and here's yet another reason why people want Quantum TV off the platform. When he was reviewing God of War Ragnarok and Kratos' wife was teasing him, he said that she needed her disrespectful ass punched dead square in the face. Quantum TV's words, by the way, not mine. Also, you're talking about how you're Actman fans and how y'all are still subscribed to him but probably shouldn't be, after all the evidence that has come to light of how shoddy Quantum's attitude is. You're going to sit there and act like he's the victim? He is not the victim. He was never the victim, and if he's a victim of anything, then it would be his own life choices and stupidity. Long story short, Quantum TV messed around and he found out, as the saying goes.
I mean, you're not there to fucking bully one channel with 30 million subscribers. I mean, these guys across all their accounts is like 30 million subscribers. Like, they're all going against a guy that's got 66,000.
Well, nowadays it's about 82.9 thousand subscribers, but the problem here is that most of those subscribers were paid for. They are bought accounts. Quantum TV has bought views and subscribers from other websites, which goes against YouTube's TOS and community guidelines. And to prove that, look at the number of subscribers he has, and then look at the amount of views each of his videos get, which is barely more than 1,000 last time I checked. Sometimes he gets around about what I would expect, but it is very seldom that he actually does get the number of views that I would expect from a channel that is about 83,000 subscribers strong, and he's still buying subscribers to this very day. Seriously, about every 3 days, Quantum TV somehow gains 100 more subscribers. You can look on his Social Blade account if you don't believe me when I say that he is paying for subscribers.
You know, and he's not even responding to them. He's continuing to make his own videos about fucking TVs and bullshit. And they're there making all these 4 fucking videos each about him. In Ackman's case, 2 hours worth of content all about Quantum. And then another thing that,
and it's mostly just talking shit about petty shit. It's not about staying on the fucking topic about the copyright thing. They'll say that for a brief second. A copyright abuser. What the fuck does that mean? That means you're just making a false claim is what they're saying. I guess that's the point. But it's funny because he's going to YouTube. He's not going to a court. He's not bringing the law into this. He's bringing YouTube into this and saying, "Hey, does this break anything? Is this illegal or anything?" But then he's acting like, "Oh, he's actually bringing me to an actual court of a real copyright thing." It's like, you're not in the same thing. This is basically like suing somebody. Everybody has the right to sue. Doesn't mean it's going to be fucking heard,
taken seriously either. Yeah,
but that's kind of how it is with you doing it to YouTube. So it's like,
alright, I'm gonna break it down for you as to why those copyright strikes are bad, and you already said it yourself. They're bad, you admit that. But at the same time, it doesn't matter whether the courts get involved in this stuff or not. Quantum TV is abusing the DMCA and copyright striking people, and just one copyright strike can mess with your channel in a number of ways. In addition to that, there is one type of person that literally no community on YouTube will ever tolerate, and that is a copyright abuser. And the only reason anybody brought any of the other stuff up in regards to Quantum TV is because they started to dig into his history to see more of his personality, and act surprised, but an ungodly amount of homophobia came up. So did a bit of transphobia. There was also that bit about the Pulse nightclub shooting, which, as I said, is the second deadliest shooting in US history. There's a lot of other stuff too, but I've already gone over most of it at this point, so let's move on.
Nothing was going to change, but then that whole matter, and it's funny because he never dropped it after it happened. He said, "Oh, we want him off YouTube." It's like, that's another fucking thing. It's like, now it's not about the issue at hand. It's more about, I don't like who this person is. I don't like what this guy's saying, and I want him off the internet. Which is hilarious, is because that's exactly what you don't want happening to yourself. And now you're doing it to somebody else just because you think that this is what do you call it? You can't play God in these scenarios. This is if everybody thought like Ackman did, we'd go to war for the fucking stupidest reasons. We already go to the war for the stupidest reasons. But I mean, he's being one of those idiots. He's just following the crowd, which is really disheartening because I had a lot of respect for him before that, or at least I thought I did. I thought he was a reasonable person. I was hoping that, like, because I didn't know much about it before looking at his video, and I just found out he's an asshole for just trying to get him banned. Like, that's crossing a line. But,
it's just ganging up, man. It's just bullying, plain and simple. And you know what? They thought Ackman and Moist and Revtech USA, all these guys, they all thought they were they all thought they like worked at YouTube or something. So no, you're YouTube partners. You do not work at YouTube. You don't get to decide who's fucking banned. That is not your job.
I promise you two dumbasses that none of these people thought or felt like they worked or work at YouTube. They do, however, know people who actually do work at YouTube, and again, they want Quantum TV off of the platform for several different reasons. And not liking Elden Ring was not one of them. Quantum didn't even buy Elden Ring, let alone play it. He was spreading misinformation about Elden Ring, and he was called out for it. In addition to that, rewind the video back to the beginning and watch up to the very end, and you will hear several reasons as to why we all want Quantum TV removed from YouTube. Just to recap a bit so that we're all on the same page: homophobia, transphobia, domestic violence, threatening a minor, calling a grown-ass man's mother who doesn't live with his mother anymore, copyright abuse, using the war going on over in Ukraine to play the victim card, and the list literally goes on. It is very easy to see why the Axeman, Mischief, and others want Quantum removed from the platform, and if you don't, then you're just as brain dead as Quantum TV is.
I just thought that was really stupid. And then the other thing too, nobody really brought up, but I thought was really funny, is the whole thing about like how Quantum tried to get in contact with Ackman, but he couldn't, so he talked to his mom. Ackman was making it a whole thing about how he was harassing his mom or something like that, or gonna show up at their house, and he was gonna have to defend his house. Like, oh, we shoot on sight or something stupid. And it's like, did you really think that fucking Quantum was gonna show up at your fucking house, dumbass? Did you really think that was gonna happen, or you just fucking stirring the pot? Because that was really fucking
shoot
stupid.
On sight.
Yeah, Ackman was like, yeah, we shoot on sight or something like that, and like
he was just talking shit on Quantum for saying for.
Then you two morons really didn't watch the video that Quantum TV uploaded where he was bragging about calling up the Actman's mother. I made a YouTube parody of that video that you can all watch if you'd like. But yeah, Quantum TV himself said that he tried to get into contact with the Actman, which is complete BS, by the way, as the Actman tried to talk to Quantum on Discord at least twice, and Quantum ignored his calls and all that. So, the Actman makes a video on Quantum for, I don't remember what at this point, it was over a year ago, and then, no more than 40 minutes after that video goes up, Quantum TV phones up the Actman's mother, and even uploaded a video bragging about it to his YouTube channel, and that was what made the Actman go after Quantum TV like crazy. If you don't want someone going after you like that, then don't you ever threaten their mother. Also, I do kind of agree on what you have to say about that tweet that the Actman made. That could have been worded better, I'll admit, than what it was. But anyways, what's your next point?
He did go a little bit on the homophobic route, I guess. I don't even call it homophobic. I don't know what to call it.
It doesn't matter, because that's not what it's about.
Because they were forcing this LGBTQ shit into video games, trying to force you to like this stuff. And I think everybody's fucking pissed off at that. I actually don't think that was a horrible take at all. Ackman is no fucking saint. I mean, he's no saint. If you want to break down somebody's whole past and history and see what all the homophobic possible things you could say, everybody's got a fucking problem. Everybody can get taken down for that shit. And if you don't want that shit being put on you, why the fuck are you doing that to Quantum? If you wouldn't want him to go back and find, and we could do that, and for petty shit, because you think what he did was petty, right? Well, he's doing petty shit back. It's the same thing. It's like, why do you have a right to ban somebody for doing? It makes no sense.
I swear to God, these two idiots wouldn't be able to find their own ass with both hands if they both had a bell on them. Tell me, you two, did your parents drop you on your heads when you were infants? Most people nowadays don't have problems with gay people, at least as far as I can tell. So, in regards to you two morons saying that we can go through everyone's past and you can dig up instances of homophobia, then why didn't you do that here? Or is it because you're just angry that some people are going after some random dude on YouTube and trying to very justifiably get him banned?
Yeah. It completely doesn't make any fucking sense. I just think it's really funny that this whole thing started with Elden Ring hot takes. Ackman's video on Elden Ring hot takes. By the way, we did a video about why we didn't buy Elden Ring. Quantum wasn't that far off. I mean, I think he was on point with his fucking review, and people just didn't fucking like it. I just think it's hilarious that like Ackman's essentially dying on that hill, and this all started because of dumbass Elden Ring.
Well, dumbass, the problem is that Quantum TV, as I said earlier, didn't just not play Elden Ring, he didn't even buy it. That means that everything he said was false, and his opinion is automatically invalid. Look, if you don't like Elden Ring or any From Software game, then that's fine with me because they aren't for everybody. But don't insult those of us who do like Elden Ring or Dark Souls or Bloodborne or whatever. We enjoy Soulsborne games because they give us a challenge when most games nowadays are being watered down for the casuals. Now, I don't have a problem with games being made easier for casual gamers, as I'm a casual gamer myself. If I can choose an easy mode for a game or download a mod that makes the game easier, then I'm going to take the easy mode 9 times out of 10. But with Dark Souls, for me, it's the perfect level of challenge because it's as hard as you want it to be. That's the beauty of Dark Souls, dude. The difficulty is what you make it, depending on the build of your character, and what equipment they use, and what stats you build up.
And it's weird because this dumbass community, and I will say it, it's just not dumbass community, I don't know. Not every Elden Ring person that likes Elden Ring genuinely is a problem. There are just people in that group, and there's a lot of them. I don't know why these people exist, but they need your approval to like their game. They're more concerned about that than playing their game and having fun playing it. They need you to like it too. And these are the people that he's talking about. These people are toxic. He's like, what? It's like, go if you like being abuse victims, like he said, and like I totally agree with that logic. I don't want to die 1,000 times for no reason because the game's got to me, it's got to give me something more than just that. And if you like that, then that's your game.
Dude, the people who are telling assholes like you to get good are the people that this game is made for. And like I said in the last clip, Soulsborne games are as easy or as hard as the player makes them. It all depends on what kind of a character you want to play. If you want to play an easy mode of Soulsborne games, then make a sorcerer build and use magic. There you go. The sorcerer class is the game's easy mode, as magic makes Soulsborne games insultingly easy. If you still struggle with Dark Souls or Elden Ring whilst using magic, then you need to find another game to play. Maybe try playing the Dragon Quest games. They are easy to a fault, but they still provide a decent challenge. But the point is, with a lot of these games, you, the player, can determine how hard or how easy the game is. You don't need to die 1,001 times just to beat it and learn all of the game's tricks and traps. Others have probably done that themselves, back before the guides came out or the wikis had the info. But now you have no such excuse unless you're playing the game blind. Oh, and another thing, Quantum TV's opinion on Elden Ring is invalid because, again, he never played the game, nor did he even buy it. And I'm sorry to repeat myself, folks, but these guys repeat themselves like crazy, and so I wind up repeating myself like crazy. It's like a merry-go-round up in Nya.
The recent one they did about fucking Quantum that got banned, him, Moist, and all these other guys were in that video and took part of that video. And to me, it's like, I think YouTube's making an example out of the Ackman here by demonetizing him and potentially banning him here. But honestly, those other guys need some suspensions too, because they participated full well in this, knowing that it was wrong, and then they have way bigger followings than even the fucking Ackman.
And yet you're sitting there defending someone who is an open homophobe, sexist, and an abuser to his wife. Tell me, why shouldn't we ban Quantum TV when all of these things came to light? And with that, I think we're done here. There is more of this video, but it's basically just them going, oh, when you have a following as large as the Actman or Moist Critical, then you have a responsibility to not have your fans harass other content creators. Is that a fact, you fucking cunts? Because whenever I or anybody else ever even remotely mentioned Quantum TV, one of Quantum TV's fans came and harassed us, and I have a video backing that up as well. I actually had to start blocking them, which is something I very heavily oppose, but while I value freedom of speech and free expression, there is a limit to those two concepts, and one of the things that falls outside those limits is harassment. Funnily enough, I don't see you making a video on Quantum TV telling him and his fans that he has a responsibility to tell his fans not to harass others, but I guess it's okay when Quantum TV does it in your eyes. I mean, not that it does any good. When you have a following as large as the Act Man, Moist Critical, Review Tech USA, even Quantum TV, you can tell your fans not to do something. That doesn't mean they're all going to obey you. But my god, man, talk about fucking rules for thee, but not for me. Anyway, that's the end of this video. Please tell me your thoughts down in the comments below, and I will see you all next video. Bye-bye for now!